Greetings everyone, and Great here with another H-Pyres 4 replay. Spawn bottom left side as the blue Chinese, we have mYi.Anotand. Spawn north side as the red English, we have SAS. He's merely going for some gold. Mining camp, of course, being built. When it comes to map generation, neither side can make use of some sort of advanced berries, so the Chinese does have, of course, the increased drop-off possibility with the Imperial Official, who is not immediately building an Imperial Official like most Chinese do. Let's see, and someone knows as well, it looks like blue has quite a bit of natural foliage here for using as walls. If you look at the mini-map, you can see they're all off the left side with some small bits of wood there, so it should be pretty easy for the Chinese to keep his town center secure. Additionally, he has a triangle of small gold here. Look, there's a large pile of gold there, small stone here, and trade post back here. So the Chinese has a pretty containable town, potentially. Red, the English player, has, of course, deer deposit over here, but on the safe side, he may actually go for it. English players tend not go for food resources on the map, so he may not touch this deer deposit appropriately or inappropriately. Abbey King's now going on up. Imperial Academy, that will allow him to pull out some pure officials without interrupting his villager queue. And we got a bit of stone being collected in here as well. He may be eyeing for a secondary town center. Don't think it's going to be meant for outpost arrows. And let's see, he's also building the Abbey Kings with 5 villagers. Other deposits, he does have a gold and stone relatively close by each other, and the berries he'll probably not touch. Oh, that is a good amount of sheep he found there. He has a whole flock of sheep. Of course, there's also a small berry deposit here. He has a good chance the English player will not touch that. Oh, he's going to try to corral all the deer with a single scout. That is going to be a bit difficult, but he is being a bit successful, and he's going to take time to kill them off. Maybe. Was he trying to partially corral it towards this gold deposit in order so it's supposed to put the secondary town center right here? If that is, that's actually quite smart. You don't have to do a full corral, just a partial corral. We got the Bardic of the Sun also, or Bardic of the Sun deployed in the field, which will of course act as a very heavy outpost. And of course, he's Song Dynasty now, so it does give him an additional 25% production queue on his villagers. I think it's technically supposed to be 33%, but that doesn't add up to me just right, because 33 would reduce it by 6.6, so that should be a 14. I remember the tooltip saying it's like supposed to be 33%, but that clearly looks like close to 25%. Because it was minus 6.6, it will either show 13 or 14, neither of which are the case. Either way, we do now have villagers being passed in this gold deposit. And the Bardic of the Sun does shoot himself some venison. And the scout does take a bit of damage there. The king does provide some health benefits. The NHS has been established, though a bit limited. And you probably won't have access to it, honestly, because you have to be next to the Abbey Kings or the king himself. And the king mostly spends his time not being alive, honestly. He could take time with the scout to torch down that wall segment. Does get a good stab there, unable to finish off the villager. That does also not destroy that wall segment there. That's just animation. King takes another shot there. And now you got the scout receiving the health benefits. Bardic in the Sun reaches... Oh, does get out of rage there. And the king is getting hit there. You gotta be a little bit careful. In this engine, sometimes the fire does come outside of the actual range that actually displayed. If I remember correctly as well, based on my knowledge of Computer Heroes 2, the range effect actually does not go out from the center of the unit, but actually goes to the point where the round comes out of the gun, or whatever fires projectile. In this case, it was probably from these windows here, so the maximum range is actually from these windows. So that's where probably the markers are to designate the projectile launching point. One way for the developers to fix this out is to the maximum possible theoretical range, you give it a false weapon that actually gives the display range, which is a dummy weapon, and then you have the actual weapon not have the display range itself to get more of an adequate representation. You're now the astronomical clock tower being deployed field, so we've got a faster castle for the Chinese. The English player has built a sound townsend here, and just as I theorize, Red pushed the deer towards this future real estate option. That means the English player has 2 towns in the queues, while the Chinese player has 1 1/4. So the Chinese players and the English players' total villages are currently equaled out, so it does take a bit of time for it to even out for the English player to catch on up. And the English players almost have enough resources to age on up. Well, very likely, I have feelings going to go with the White Tower. We've already got 2 barracks ready to go as well. White Tower, of course, since it's a keep, it does act as all production structures, because the English keeps act as all production structures. I guess we'll have to wait and see. You have a good amount of... There's White Tower. You will have a good amount of barracks queues. You also will have a siege weapon queue, which can be very useful with the White Tower. But 2 barracks, actually, now think about it, it's not a whole lot. But then again, both players very passive. The village has been set ablaze. A single village can repair it up and put out those fires. Lancer deployed in the field. Chinese Lancer at this point in time is greater than the King in 1v1 combat, especially when the King's been in combat so long, he has received 0 health regen. The King does move slightly faster than Heavy Cav, but eventually the Heavy Cav will get the charge attack. The Scout may be able to interrupt the charge attack by hacking away at him, but they do move the same speed and at least just draw some fire there. The Scout needs to fall back, and now the Scout is running away. The King could fall back partially to get the Scout some health regen as they start running away. Got a pair of Hardened Spearmen now on the field. Another pair of Hardened Spearmen now on the field. I have a feeling the Chinese player will not go off a Song Dynasty anytime soon, since he does only have 1 villager queue, and probably not eyeing for Yuan Dynasty to get out the faster moving Palace Guard to blitz across the map. English players' man-at-arms will be great. Regular man-at-arms are greater than Palace Guard in 1v1 combat in Castle Age. English man-at-arms can be even greater with additional armor. Right now, the Chinese players pull a good number of Lancers, and Chinese players are already going for some crossbowmen, which makes sense. You're fighting against English. The chance of fighting against man-arms are very likely. Additionally, it's been pretty common for English players to age up, go for knights as this, so crossbowmen, which will be very useful. You also have a single nest of bees on the field. Clock tower nest of bees are quite nice, having 50% extra health. But you only get 1 queue of that. Even though I don't think nest of bees is going to be too particularly useful at this moment in time, getting that queue going, since you can't improve the clock tower variant, could be quite nice. Oh, either way, 2 relics picked up by blue, 1 relic claimed by blue, 0 relics claimed by red. We do have 1 relic within Sphere of Influence. Oh, and the last relic's down here. So blue will get 3 relics. Monk goes down. Both sides, Knights and Lancers, are going to be equal the entire game. There will not be any major deviation other than selecting research. Right now, the King does offer more health than a Knight, has 1 less armor, 4 less damage, and of course a greatly slower attack speed. So the King is not a full Knight. Maybe one thing, I always think the Abbey Kings should be reworked a little bit. I do agree the fact that you get a free King makes sense, but honestly the one thing I want to see is have the Abbey Kings have a respawning King similar to the Khan. And I think that would make it a little bit more longevity and a bit more useful later on. You just get a free heavy cav. And maybe an Imperial Age research is like the rule of two, so you get a high king and low king aspect, so you can have two kings that automatically regenerate. But that's just my opinion. I have a lot of opinions of balance changes since I do Computers 2 modding. And so, in that game, I actually implement my balance changes, as amongst all the other stupid stuff I come up with. Lancers push way forward, they will spot the gate. Number of spearmen there, and then looks like a Nessa B's volley. Another knight upon field. He has not rebuilt his scout. His knights are 20 health. They should defeat the knights and kings still. Knights and king falling on back. Now you have the palisade gate being repaired on up. Spearman now pushing way forward. Doesn't get any stabs there. Oh, possibility here, and got a pretty good volley of stabs. One Lancer does go down, very good pick. You could take all these spearmen back and actually go back to the Abbey Kings and get them rapidly healed on up. Won't be much, honestly, but would be quite nice. We do have a crossbowman here. Lance is still being chased by a bunch of angry men with pointy sticks. We do have an outpost here. Remember, English has the network of castles and citadels, not upgrade, but effect. Civilization bonus. No blacksmith research on the way for the Chinese or the English player. The Chinese player is going some basic range and armor upgrades. Crossbow down. Gets a free pick there. Very nice. I would say maybe gotta just peel off 5 of these spearmen, just chase these guys to the ends of the earth, which is located right here. Oh, there's actually an opening here as well, which the English player may not have scouted out that area, may have thought these trees go to the edges of the earth.
Andente to servant.
Scout slowly working away at that gate. Villagers are advancing, deploying out outposts and a mining camp. Not consume this gold deposit just yet, so this is going to be more exposed, but of course, claim it now where you have the possibility, because we have good escort of spearmen. And looks like the Lancers up there did find that opening. Berkshire Palace now going on up. The Chinese player does have more village than one and build a secondary town center, so he has 2.5 Qs versus opponent's just 2. Berkshire Palace being deployed out here to help him secure this gold deposit. And that's about it. He can always clip the deer and boar from that range, which can be quite nice for a transitionary period of going from gold to another resource. Another mill there. He is taking time to collect those berries. One of the villagers do get hacked apart. He does not have textiles. The king is charging. The king does actually connect the charge, where greased axles being researched by the Chinese player. He may be eyeing heavier into a siege army. He's getting good number of palace guards and crossbowmen. One Zunchnu on the field. Berkshire Palace now complete. It will also help provide some protection in this region, not too much. Lancers now down. Walls. I was expecting that to be wooden walls when I looked at the mini-map, but they're fully stone walls. The only thing about that little bit opening there, it's actually a decent spot for traders to slip on by. English player could eye for a handful of traders just simply to get a supplementary gold income. Since enclosures can only handle so much, but he may just rely on the field gold before eyeing for any sort of traders. But honestly, just even getting a small round of traders can go a long way. But that is always an investment. Chinese players about ready to age on up. Got a line of palisade walls here. I'm thinking he's going to go with the Spirit Way rather than the Great Gatehouse, because I don't see stone. Nope, there's Great Gatehouse. Will be. Great Gatehouse is going up right there. Not in a assertive position, in a defensive position, which won't really provide that much influence, honestly. I think the Spirit Way at this point in time would be better than the Great Gatehouse. Got a single granary. What heresy is this? Most of the time you see a large number of granaries. You see all 3 granaries built at the same time, but no, just one. What heresy is this? Am I crazy? Because whenever I see somebody building a granary, it usually is at the same time where they build 2 other granaries. Usually they all get built at the same time. I mean, granaries are relatively cheap at... 150 is not too cheap, but it's not exactly expensive either. Different farms cost 75, and so it does take a... It's only cost twice the amount of 2 farms. I suppose granary, in order to make it cost-effective compared to farms, is you probably need to build 10 farms around it, which is probably very likely. We have an outpost here, which will help with network of citadels. These crossbow could be picked off by these knights and king, but maybe not. Especially with some fire support behind the walls as well. You know, I got the elite palace guard, elite crossbone, battle hardened. He also does have 1,000 stone. We got all 6 sites captured by red, and look at the sacred sites. They all spawn on the left side of the map. Not even spread out. This one is being decaptured by blue. Outposts are going down. And the monk stays alive. Sacred site has not been decaptured. And the bombardment placement there is getting some damage, but does take some damage. And getting some actually decent damage there. University now built. Now got the elite army tactics. He's probably going to eye for mass palace guard. His palace guard can get quite nice, but you have to in order for really give the English man-at-arms a good contest, probably need to get them up to the Ming dynasty for the increased damage or increased health they have in Ming dynasty. And additionally, English players tend to go for a large number of man-at-arms as well, which I don't know if he doesn't have a whole lot. 11, not even elite, nor maybe not even armor clad. And he does have armor clad, and that's it for the armor. But Grenadiers could be a good possibility against English. Got around palisade walls here. Handful of palace guards generally forward, since they're not Yuan dynasty, they can't go fast. Got the various blacksmiths being researched now. The English player may want to go for 2 blacksmiths in order to get that research going. Looks like he does. We've got the military academies and the Bloomin' Tree. Oh, the king is dead. House Guards engaging. The English player does have a good number of hand cannoneers. There is the network of castles nearby, not network of citadels. And now a keep being deployed out by blue, trying to secure up this gold deposit. Very nice. And we got a number of villagers there. Ooh. Okay, they're pulling out bows and arrows with their hammers. Got it. I was a bit confused what was going on. But either way, those villagers are going to be hacked apart. English player does have a replaceable amount of villagers. Imperial Palace not going on. No, that was to put up the Yuan dynasty. And he can also get access to pagodas. He should either get those pagodas up and going. He does have a good number of relics that can get him some increase in income. Might as well go for Tithe the Barn as well. Decent damage there by Nessa B. He's got a handful of spring golds here. I believe he does have rolling strutters. We got now the pyrotechnic research for the Chinese player as well. We got a decent number of spring golds for red. Only a handful of pulse guard remaining for the blue player. So won't be able to really hit those spring golds, but does get a shot there. He does have rolling strutter here as well. Good strikes there. Spring golds, so you get a couple good hits there. He does. These are clock tower spring golds, so they can withstand extra shot. Very important to remember there. Clock tower bombard as well. We'll just push wave 4. We got the Berkshire Castle providing some fire support. Palace Guard charge wave 4, and red backs out of the game. Maybe a little bit too early for that. Either way, this is Android saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.